Alright, welcome back, guys, to a Raw review for May 7th, 2012. And overall, I thought this was a decent show. Nothing major, really.
It was definitely a step up, I think, from last week's.
Yeah.
That was really lame last week. But yeah, this was a little bit better, I thought.
I thought it had some good stuff on here. There was one big surprise. But
yeah. Your prophecy finally came to being today. So that was crazy, man. It was like surreal seeing Heyman up there. So.
Yeah, that was awesome. So yeah, I was definitely surprised by that. I thought they didn't really... Sometimes they leave, actually all the time, they end the show with a big cliffhanger. However, tonight it was really just Daniel Bryan laying out CM Punk.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine, but it wasn't like a big surprise or anything like they typically end Raw with. However, they start the show off by recapping last week's angle with Laurinitis busting Cena's arm with the chair. Laurinitis comes out. He says he lost his temper, and when he loses his temper, it's a fury no one can withstand.
That's a great line, man.
He says he's going to finish Cena where Lesnar left off. He doesn't want Cena here so that he can stay home and heal, so that over the limit, he won't have any excuses.
Exactly. You can't see John Laurinitis.
He says that he's going to have a satellite interview. John Cena's going to have an interview with Michael Cole via satellite, and he'll apologize for making fun of his voice. No one will ever make fun of his voice again.
Yeah.
He talks about how it was injured in Japan by Steve Williams.
And then he showed, that video of basically old footage or whatever, pictures of him.
God,
with the wild eyes, long Kentucky mullet and all that.
This was awesome.
It was.
This was a great segment here. He actually says he was the Hulk Hogan and Steve Austin of Japan.
It was like Austin and The Rock all rolled into one, I believe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I mean, just the pictures he shows here, it was phenomenal. I really liked
that. Was good. That was a good intro.
Then CM Punk comes out, says the fans don't want to see Laurinitis. Says he went to Japan because no one here would pay to see his rotten ass wrestle. He insults him. And Laurinitis puts Punk in a match tonight with Lord Tensai. Crowd didn't really care about this at all.
They just booed it, I guess. I'm not sure if they're just not into Tensai or what it is.
I don't know what this was here, but Punk says that Laurinitis has always hid behind extremely talented big men. So in my mind, he's trying to put over Tensai. He's extremely talented, and you're just hiding behind him. However, during the main event, I think I changed my opinion on that, but I'll get to that later. Backstage, we see Laurinitis bump into the Big Show. He calls him
pissed
stupid.
off, man. He's like, "What are you doing in my way?"
He's like, "Don't you get out of the way when your boss is coming?"
For real.
But
it's been vicious lately.
Yeah, he just bumps into him and then calls him stupid. He walks away. Big Show makes fun of his voice, and then Eve has been watching the whole time. So Big Show's going to get punished somehow for this. Then we get Cody versus Big Show for Intercontinental title.
Keep showing this match over and over and over again as of late. I feel like it's almost like every week, and then the pay-per-views.
I hope that it was done at Extreme Rules. Please, we don't need to see this at Over the Limit.
I guess they finally stopped the whole try to embarrass each other thing. That's over finally, thank God, I guess.
This was actually kind of short. One thing that was weird, though, was Big Show grabs Cody's leg and just flips him up in the air, and Cody does some kind of, spin karate movie dive. I don't know what the hell this was, but Cody grabs the belt and leaves. Big Show wins by countout. He calls him back, but Eve comes out. She tells him to apologize for making fun of Laurinitis, and she says that outside of this business, there's no demand for a 7-foot-tall, 400-pound, 40-year-old freak.
That wouldn't really hurt. It hurt the Big Show, man.
That was intense. But it worked because he apologized.
That's true. Dude, Eve is turning into a pretty good heel, actually.
Yeah, I think she's doing fine.
She really is.
I know some people think she's kind of lacking in the mic skills, but she just started doing this. She never really had to talk much before. So she is kind of new at it, but I think she's going to do fine.
I like it, man. I think it fits.
Yeah, I like it too. Then we get Kofi Kingston with R-Truth versus Dolph with Swagger. Backstage, Primo and Epico are watching with AW.
Yes.
Mason Ryan comes up and AW just starts checking him out. He's like, yeah.
I don't get it, man.
I don't know what the hell, but I mean, it's obvious they're trying to build this type of camp, I guess, with AEW. However, I hate Mason Ryan.
You really do have
I hate him.
I guess I got.
He's horrible, and he just goes out there and hurts people. So
yeah,
there's no.
But he
he
is juiced. So
yeah, but I mean,
they're gonna keep him around, I guess.
Do you need Mason Ryan when you have Ryback?
That's a good point.
So I mean, let's get rid of Mason Ryan here. But anyways, this was typical. Swagger grabs Kofi's leg, and Ziggler hits the zigzag for the win. Finally, a victory.
Exactly. That was a long time coming.
Yeah, this was much needed.
Yeah. It's been horrible for Ziggler lately, and Swagger.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this.
Weekly, yeah, exactly.
And we said, it wasn't exactly a clean win. However, we'll take it.
It's, I mean, being a heel as you are in Ziggler,
Yeah.
A win is a win. So, I mean, it's some sort of legitimacy to him, I guess.
Yeah. So then we get Michael Cole. He does a satellite interview with Cena. Cena says he's been told not to compete for a few months, but nothing's going to keep him from over the limit with Laurinitis.
He's a tough guy. He
Yeah,
doesn't back down from anybody.
That was it, really.
And he rises above hate.
And I personally thought they would do the angle they did, I guess, a year ago, maybe a little longer, where Cena is supposed to be via satellite, but then he is really at the arena and comes out later, but that didn't happen here. It was just gone, I guess. Then we get Kelly and Layla versus Maxine and Natalya. Beth Phoenix comes out to do commentary. Layla wins with a neck breaker on Maxine, and they announce Layla versus Beth at Over the Limit. So
exciting.
Typical here.
Layla came right back on the scene, so I mean.
Yeah, I like Layla.
It's cool. I mean, yeah, she's all right. So.
And I actually like Maxine too. And she's probably going to get a push with the Bellas being gone now.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I would imagine somebody is.
Yeah, they got to do something. Then we get Sheamus and Orton versus Jericho and Del Rio. This was actually a pretty long match. I thought it was okay. Not a big fan of just guys being put into tag matches.
Yeah, just slapping them together.
But Sheamus bro kicks Orton by accident. Jericho hits a code breaker, gets the win. Afterwards, Sheamus is trying to help Orton up, and Orton RKOs Sheamus.
I thought it looked really bad when Sheamus did kick him, because it's like it was delayed or something a little bit, and it just looked really unnatural.
Yeah,
But
I'm not really sure what this is supposed to set up, but then they announce. They didn't announce it yet. Backstage, we see Orton, Jericho, and Del Rio arguing with Laurinitis about who's getting a shot next. They start brawling. Sheamus comes in. He gets involved. And then Laurinitis makes the over-the-limit match a fatal four-way. I really thought this could be the start of something big, like Orton turning heel, Sheamus turning heel, something.
I think, man, Orton, by his actions tonight, it almost looks like maybe he might be turning heel again,
Yeah, I mean...
That was a pretty heel move, I think. I mean, even for him right now.
But the people still cheered.
I know, it's weird. So, but
it's definitely strange. I would hope that they would do something like that in the future. However, I think this was just to set up the fatal four-way at Over the Limit. So yeah, I don't think anybody's going to change roles here yet. Then we get Brodus Clay versus The Miz. Brodus does a little video about Mother's Day, and then The Miz actually cuts an awesome promo on Brodus.
That's true.
He says,
it with this thing, or whatever, like with this thing.
He's like, I got to go out there with that.
Yeah.
He calls him King Hippo from the Punch-Out games. This was good, and Brodus wins with the big splash. However, they did have an actual match.
It's true. Miz actually hung in there pretty well.
Yeah, so. I mean, it was an actual match. However, the crowd was completely dead for this. And
this seems like they're dead for a lot of stuff these days.
Yeah, this especially, though, was just not very good. I think it's just too little too late with Brodus. He should have been squashing guys like The Miz months ago.
Yeah. They got Ryback for all this now, to just, like, crush people.
Yeah, Ryback's there now.
So new Goldberg, so...
I mean, I think the big thing that the fans like about Brodus is the entrance.
Yeah.
And they just dragged that out for so long.
Song, man, dude.
Yeah, that is it. Like, now it doesn't matter who he squashes.
Honestly, I think that's what I don't like about him coming out, is the fact that it lasts so long. It takes like a couple minutes for him to come out. They do the whole intro, like announce him.
Yeah.
Music and all of this, and it's just like a big time filler, I think.
And you have to watch it again after the match. It's like, we've seen it. We've seen it.
Seriously, man.
So then the announcers are talking about Triple H's injury, how Lesnar broke his arm. They show these pictures of him in the office, like signing papers, and he's got this.
Oh yeah, he looks like RoboCop, man. He's got like a robotic arm.
Oh my god, this was so stupid, man. He's got like a big smile on his face signing papers with this gizmo attached to it.
Like a new low.
Oh man. But then they play Brock Lesnar's music, and Paul Heyman comes
Dude,
out. Finally. Oh
that was
my
insanity.
god.
I still don't believe it.
Yeah.
It was surreal.
This was an awesome surprise. Dude, I have been predicting
Heyman
for weeks.
And you were talking about it literally like a couple seconds. As soon as like Brock's like music hit, you mentioned that. It was weird.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that maybe for these Raw review videos, I would just constantly talk about Paul Heyman, at least plug him every week, and say, Heyman's coming back. Oh, next week he's going to be back. Like kind of what they did with Brodus Clay, where they kept saying, oh, Brodus, you're going to debut next week. I thought that would be funny to do in the videos, but then, shit, he appeared.
Literally. Like, seconds later.
Yeah, and this was awesome. Apparently he's Brock's representative. He really just hypes up Brock Lesnar.
Great speech, too. I mean, especially for having, like, I guess some rust, not really performing like he used to.
Yeah, he was awesome here. Right. He didn't flub his words or anything like that.
Heyman's on his game.
He says that Brock feels betrayed by the WWE Universe. He reads a letter from Brock. Brock says he embarrassed Triple H. He doesn't care about anyone, and he quits. Yeah. So they're going to start working with that angle, but I'm just glad to see Paul Heyman back because if anybody needed a mouthpiece, it's Brock Lesnar.
Yes. I mean, it's proven, though, when he's just doing his thing and just being intimidating, it works.
Yeah.
Just minimize his talking with a guy with mic skills like Heyman. So, I mean, it's perfect, really.
Yeah, it really is. And, I mean, I thought even last Monday when he was doing the segment with Laurinitis and Triple H, he didn't even talk, and he was still kind of
a little sketchy with it.
But, just glad to see Heyman back. Then we see Big Show backstage talking to some actors from some USA show or something like that. They start
pumped up.
Yeah, they start talking about Laurinitis and making fun of his voice. Big Show's laughing, and Eve catches him laughing. So he's going to get punished again probably on
really
SmackDown.
Weird, man. He's like a big school kid or something. Like he's like the dunce.
Yeah, Eve is just following Big Show around, like waiting for him to slip up. And this week and last week, no Otunga.
Dude, actually, that relates to, I believe, like his wife Jennifer Hudson because of the whole her family, like the whole murder trial thing or whatever.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But I think that's why he was gone. Like he was doing that.
Yeah, I definitely did hear about that. Then Laurinitis interrupts CM Punk's entrance, tells him it's now a handicap match with Lord Tensai and Daniel Bryan. So we get that match. I have to say, I don't know what was up with CM Punk here. I personally think he was trying to sandbag Lord Tensai to make him look bad. Because if he's the best in the world and he's messing up moves that Alex Riley and Yoshitatsu could pull off with no problem, it's definitely a questionable that I think he's sandbagging here. He messed up the double underhook suplex. He just kind of like flipped over. And then when Tensai went for the big double choke bomb, he just completely fell on his ass. Yeah. I don't know what he was doing.
It was bizarre.
So this kind of sucked. Tensai wins with the green mist claw, just smashes Punk's head into the mat, gets the win, and then afterwards Bryan puts Punk in the yes lock, which was awesome.
Cool. It was a good way to end it, man.
Yeah.
It was going crazy, and then like the ref stopped him for a second, and he got back up, going some yeses, and then he just goes right back down to it.
Yeah, he just went right back on the attack, and I thought this was good because I am definitely excited to see the feud between Punk and Bryan. They had great matches with no clear winner.
I'm excited about that. Like two ROH guys, going at it. And two guys who actually can be like athletic and do like old school kind of wrestling almost.
They have good communication with each other. They've done this before. They've wrestled each other before, so these should lead to some awesome matches. And I just hope they don't end it over the limit and actually continue with that. But
I really hope D-Bry gets it, man. If he actually could do that, I mean, he would be at a whole new level. So I don't know if they have that trust in him or not, but
I really hope they do.
See.
I mean, I could see Daniel Bryan winning the belt and then getting drafted to Raw and Punk getting drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah, I could see that.
And because the draft is coming up soon, I actually could see Bryan winning this at over.
I think he's over enough, and from him being the champion on SmackDown and everything, it's not that much of a stretch.
And I mean, Punk's had the belt.
And he's so over, it's ridiculous, So he's one of the most popular guys right now. So
fans are into him, whether they cheer or boo, they're into him.
Definitely.
He gets a reaction wherever he goes. And Punk's had the belt, I think, since November.
It's time for change.
Yeah, and
as Owen Hart would say.
Yeah. Which, you know what? That's really weird. I think today was his birthday.
Really?
I swear to God.
That's weird.
Because I was reading a report that said Owen Hart would have been 47 today. Wow.
That's weird. Man.
That's weird, man.
That's like 2 cases of synchronicity involving wrestling today.
Oh, that's crazy.
Who knows?
But anyways, I thought this show was pretty good. Main event wasn't all that great, but
a lot better than last week. So I mean, I think there's some excitement, a few things to build on.
Yeah, just glad to see Paul Heyman back and some CM Punk, Daniel Bryan stuff get set up. So I guess that's it, guys. Leave your thoughts on tonight's show in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Bye.